Now, real question I'm asking. That's one of my, hot takes or takes we're gonna be talking about and debating. Has the Ice Spice hype train, which was, if it was stocks, she was going up. Okay? Has it fizzled out? That's one. Two, by the way, also, I do want to, there's so many things. Berg got to get a podcast here, but Berg said so many great things. I think Berg said, when we talked about, Sexy Red, she basically said Sexy Red's going to have a longer lasting power than any of these female rappers. Guess why? Because Sexy Red, people like Sexy Red for Sexy Red. Like, it's kind of like a personality thing. They like how ratchet she is. They like how real she is. They like when she's talking in however she talks. She seems super relatable. And that's like a quality that Cardi B had when Cardi B popped off in music. Cardi B was long a personality making funny videos, this and third, known for loving hip hop and some other stuff before music really took off. People liked Cardi. So even now, Cardi hasn't put out a song and whatever, and nobody really actually has the conversation of, yo, is Cardi gonna fall off if she doesn't get a hit? It's like people just love Cardi, and it's like whenever Cardi wants to come back, Cardi comes back. I'm wondering if, obviously not to the level of Cardi, but if that's what Sexy Red has, that would be very unique. He brought up a good point with that. We'll talk about that, but we do want to talk about Ice Spice a little bit, and we'll get there eventually. Also, my man Central C. I think after I seen him damn near do CPR and resuscitate a nigga who looked like he was drowning or looked like he was dead, I have to ask the question, like a legit question. Is this the first time that a UK rapper could arguably be in the top 5 of rap? I think Central C might be knocking on that door. Top 5 relevant right now, right? I think he's knocking on that door. I'm going to just be honest with you. I think he's knocking on that door. Somebody says Ice Spice does a million literally every song. You're right. I'm not saying that, you see, that's the thing with some of these conversations, they're nuanced. Ice Spice was on an upward trajectory where she was breaking her records from every previous song. It didn't look like it was slowing down. She dropped, like, keep in mind, she's a singles-based artist, so we're kind of have to judge her on a single. This last Gimme the Light single, like, it's been a little bit slower than her other songs, right? We just haven't seen, really, I don't think we've seen a lot of Ice Spice since, the whole thing with Lotto, and I think Lotto did the best thing to say, shut up and rap. You get what I mean? And after that, you know what I mean? Yeah, we see the twerks from every now and then, and of course we smell that twerk wind. But yeah, I think that she's in an interesting place. Also, there's like this background shit that's been going on with her and Nicki. It's an interesting place that she's in, and when I say is the hype train fizzled out, I don't mean she's fell off. She definitely fell off. I'm saying maybe like that wave of, oh, she's going to the top. No, she's just who she is. She's, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we see these artists go on these incredible run. Like, remember when Jack Harlow was on that? And we're like, oh my God, Jack Harlow is going to be like Eminem. We think he's going to go like so crazy. But in reality, it slowed up a little bit, but he didn't fall off because he still got records that's moving. But the momentum, like a lot of times momentum carried these guys to the top, like Notorious even with Le Bebe. The momentum took him to the top, right? Like, he kept outperforming, and it took him to the top where, as I said, there was a time that I was even comparing and even asking the question, is Lil Baby possibly the incumbent for Drake, right? So that's what I'm talking about in terms of hype train, right? I'm not saying these people are irrelevant because Ice Spice can never be close to being irrelevant as long as the ass is that fat, okay? Anyway, I do want to ask that question about Central C, though. Central C, somebody said, yeah, I'm talking 200 miles per hour. It's because I'm on coffee, right? So, yeah, I drank coffee. Anytime I drink coffee, like, I'm just, like, super wired. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't do Adderall, but, like, if I'm talking mad fast, I'm either on coffee, which is 99.99% of the time, or if I ever took Adderall, you would just hear me talk a million miles per hour, like, because I'm trying to catch up with the thoughts in my head. Anyway, and then if I'm talking slow and look like I'm trying to make sure I'm saying my words, it's because I'm off that yet. No, actually, this is Don Julio right here. Yeah, I had to drink I drink coffee black. So like, I realized if I get coffee and I mix it with all that shit that people put in their shit, cream, caramel, nigga, that shit does nothing. It tastes like a beverage to me. I gotta drink coffee straight black, and just I gotta drink it almost like alcohol. I gotta chug it literally in 30 seconds. Like I can't just like keep sipping it. It doesn't work for me because I'm not doing it for taste. I'm doing it for I don't want to fall asleep or get tired on stream, because if I'm gonna stream at 11 o'clock, yeah, I definitely expect me to do 4 hours and shit. Yeah. Anyway, all right, all good, all good. Let me just make sure everybody's online and we are up and kicking. Let's see. Somebody said, read my comment and go on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did go on tangent. I love going on tangents. Anyway, here's the point. I'm asking that Central C question. Bro, Central C got the hottest song in hip hop right now. Like, Central C has the hottest song in hip hop right now. We could go ban for ban. You know what I mean? Like, that's the hottest song in hip hop right now. We've seen he's always stayed with a hot song. He's really been involved in some of the dope moments. Him and Drake like, it kind of feels like when Drake, and I know this is going to sound weird. Remember when Drake gave that cosign to Lil Baby, even though Lil Baby was already on fire? When Drake did that freestyle with Central C, it kind of felt like when Drake hopped on Yes Indeed. Like, he sees this guy, he knows this guy's going to the top, he gives him the shit early. I really just think that Central C's a top 5 rapper now. Like, and I'm talking about relevance. We're judging a lot of this off of relevance, okay? Yeah, I was just asking random shit on see, this is why I shouldn't drink coffee, because now I'm seeing all y'all little comments. Like, somebody on YouTube said, did I make up a little Tracy? Nigga, is little Tracy alive, my nigga? Wait, I think I'm bugging? Jim Carrey this Drake? Really? Yeah, I'm reading the conversations. Sarah May, what's up with you, girl? I'm thinking you're a girl. Tracy Morgan, where's Drake new music? On the way. How much did Central C pay you? No, he didn't pay me anything. Come on, like, bro, I'm just trying to think of, like, when we think about the current landscape, or maybe I am tripping, right? Like if we were thinking about top 10, right? Who would we say is in the top 10 of rap right now? Or top 5, like, current relevant artists? Like, I'm going a lot. Quiet as kept. Bro, I was shocked that, what nobody wants to admit, right? And really it's because I think a lot of these, talking heads or current rap journalists or whatever, they're so stuck in that other era, and also the Drake and Kendrick thing happened to make us feel like it's 2010 again. I also have another hot take. I'm giving mad hot takes today, so it's all good, chat. I think that there is another era. I think, okay, so here's the eras of rap, right? You have like the new school, so all the guys who came out around like 2009, 2010. That's Drake and them, right? Then around 2013, you get the drill, right? 2012, 2013, you get drill era, but you also start getting super turned Atlanta era. Migos was already popping, but of course now you get Future, who goes on a run. Also, it also spawns people like, Fetty Wap, etc. 2017 comes in, 2016, we get colored hair, Uzi type rappers. They come onto the scene. Atlanta rappers still going, because we got like a 21 Savage. And of course, the Florida wave is starting to happen. Like, Florida basically running the youth. We get a Kodak year after, or 2 years after, well, pretty much a year after, pretty much almost the same time. We get a Pump. We get a XXXTentacion, right? Okay. Trippie Redd comes in, that 6ix9ine comes in, that kind of fizzles out, or like that the thought of that era pretty much around like 2020. By the way, Juice WRLD also comes a little bit later or whatever, but around like 2020, 2021, and when I say these eras of fizzling out, it means if you're not a great artist from that era, you don't last, right? Like, usually once the era is over, artists kind of fade away unless they're great or prolific enough to last through, like Uzi has lasted. You get what I'm saying? Um, so here's my hot take. There's like a few rappers that I feel like we haven't acknowledged that maybe their era in and I'm not saying they fell off in terms of skill, but I think in people their viewing them as the hot commodity because their era is kind of past, it looks that way. Like, for example, bro, we just call A Boogie the king of like New York. Yo, he dropped the album, so like 20K. You get what I'm saying? It's like Boogie was selling like 150 before, 120 or whatever the case is. Like that's where Boogie's really caliber is at. So I think what's kind of happened is like, you know what I mean? And I'm watching, even though they're not really from the same era too, but like the Roddy Riches of this world, you know, I think people are a little bit past it. I don't know. I would love for these artists to prove me wrong. I'm hoping they prove me wrong, right? But when I see like how when they drop music, it's an afterthought, given that a couple years ago, if them niggas was dropping a song, it was a huge fucking deal. I'm wondering where people are now in terms of somebody says wrong. What was I wrong about? Like, people haven't just realized that there's a new crop starting to happen, right? We just don't know who's going to last. I think in the last year or so, or the last 2 years, we can't even quantify it as an era because people are coming and going even quicker. Like, remember they were trying to say it was a female era? And then literally 9 months later, right? They basically said it was over. Right? Everybody who was super popping, you just don't even feel the same about it anymore. Even like, you know, Glorilla fell off for a little bit, then she came back with a record. But it doesn't feel like this is an era of female rap anymore. Right? So again, I think music is in an interesting spot of trying to figure out who's going to be around or who's going to be that next wave for the next 4 to 5 years. And I guess that's why I throw Central Scene there, because if I'm coming up with that top 5, I'm still listing Future. I'm still listening to Drakes of this world. Like, who's a new artist or someone who's relatively fresh on the scene that we would say, and when I say top 5, we're not talking about skill. We're just talking about relevancy, right? Current relevancy if we just slice the cake today. Who would be in that top 5 other than the same old usual people? Like the legend. And these guys are legends. Like, if we're making a list 10 years later from these guys even getting on the scene and we're still naming Future and Drake being top in the top 5 most relevant. And again, we're not just talking about who could sell the most. Like relevant to like music conversations. Peso Pluma. Someone said Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely. I think Honcho's gonna be one of those people, I believe. I'm just looking for the artist who I feel is going to be able to stick around for a couple of years. Someone said V's is good. Eminem still breaking records. Well, I know Eminem's still doing his thing. Kendrick's still doing his thing. But we kind of have to look at hip hop. And I think that's why I even had the Ice Spice point, where it's like, I don't know if we're watching, like, remember watching Kendrick drop his first album or watching Drake, who basically came in as LeBron with a lot of expectations, kind of roll out that first project and start making his rounds. Is there anybody that we're like doing that with right now? Maybe, I mean, he's not a lyricist. Well, I think he's not a lyricist. You might think differently. Yeet, kind of. I'm trying to figure out who's going to be around in 2030. Which artists right now that we ain't already talking about for the last 10 years? I guess that's the question. In 2030, which artists are we going to still talk about that is probably new on the scene now that you think they're going to have a prolific enough career? Dirk came out 10 years ago. Dirk is already one of those. We're talking about a newer artist. Somebody said Ralo Rodriguez, okay, and a lot of people are saying nobody. Now, if your answer is nobody, why is that? Is it because we're not getting any generational artists currently? Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take somebody who could make music, deal with music. Because right now, music is changing like this constantly. Deal with the changes of music and last for years. You know what I'm saying? There's no stories being told. That's a good fucking argument. There's no stories being told that we could buy into. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. All right. Anyway, we'll have some ongoing conversations. What else I saying? Yeet, Lil Baby. Well, Lil Baby's already been around for. Lil Baby been around for how many years now? He's been around since 2017. Yeah, 2017 he's been around. This is 17, right? Baby's been around since 17? So he's been around for 7. Real the young OG. Somebody says Lucky. Somebody says Four Bass. All right, somebody out of troll. Okay, we'll kind of leave that question in the air. By the way, did I tell you this? Oh my god, a couple things. First and foremost, I really want to get this done. So I want to do a Metro Boomin versus Boy Wonder versus. I need to do it with someone. It's yo. Could somebody, or maybe I should just pick a chat nigga to do it. Nah, but I need somebody who is really versed in Metro. Yo, shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Wonder. Boy Wonder obviously seen the stream, bro. My nigga sent me a whole list. He says, He sent me a whole list. He said, yo, any of these would done them. I'm like, oh shit. We ready. He gave me a whole list. So I'm ready. So I really want to do. I want to do like a virtual versus on stream. Obviously it's fan done, right? Like I don't expect Metro and motherfucking Boy Wonder to be on the stream like doing it, but I think we could do one here and kind of get like a sense of like both of their music going up against each other. Oh, chat, yeah. Oh my